a video with us if we don't do some kind of trying thing.
That's right.
So we are at EPCOT. This is our like third day of the trip or something like that.
Third full day.
Third full day.
Mm-hmm.
Technically fourth full day for us, I guess. We were
yeah,
here Sunday.
pretty
so.
much. Pretty much.
So we're gonna try this thing.
We are in the China Pavilion in
Yep.
EPCOT, so we grabbed some snacks, so you'll get a tasting video of that later, but we figured we'd try this now, and this is kiwi melon flavor soda?
I guess.
Water?
I'm not sure, but we're gonna, it says water company, so I'm assuming
Yep, on this,
it's a
it
mineral
says,
water.
What does it say? Aerated water.
So we're gonna give it a shot.
All right.
All right. It smells very watermelon-y.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, let's give it a try. That is refreshing. Ooh.
Oh, it's good.
It is.
Yeah.
It's very good.
You know, if it was a hot day, this would be great, right?
Yeah.
And currently, it's kind of overcast and not very warm, but I mean, it's still delicious. But it'd be great in for a hot day.
Absolutely. So, kiwi melon. I don't know what Aisha, maybe? I don't know. But it looks like that. So if you're Disney, grab one of those. It's worth it.
Yeah, delicious.
Alrighty, guys.
Are you gonna rate it?
I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Ooh, I'm gonna give it an 8.
All right. So there you go.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is day 4, so video, I don't know, 5, 6, something of our Disney trip from back in January, end of January. So as always, I'm Stuart.
And I'm Joelle.
And welcome to 2 Max Try. And this has been an ongoing series we've done a number of weeks to show you some of the video and footage and stuff that we did for our Disney trip. So if you haven't had a chance to see those, we'll link the playlist, I'm pretty sure, in the description below, so you can take a look at the rest of those.
Yes, and they come out every Wednesday, so we have 3 days left after this, and so far you have seen, and today you will see a lot of EPCOT, so the next few days are other parks, so that'll
Plus
be exciting.
EPCOT. I'm sure we went back to EPCOT.
I don't think we did. I
We
think
ended
this
up
is the
at
last
EPCOT.
one.
Yeah, so as always, make sure that you check out our social media stuff that you'll see show up at the bottom of the screen here. And yeah, as always, thanks so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing and all that
We
fun
really
stuff.
appreciate the support you guys give us.
Absolutely. We are currently up to 72 subscribers.
At the time of filming.
Yep. So
We'd love to get to 75 next and then 100.
Yep,
Be
even for 100.
awesome.
So, with that, we're going to explain a little bit of... This day was kind of more laid back than the other days were.
Yeah, this was technically the day that was like smack dab in the middle of our trip. So we had 3 days before, we have 3 days left, and we left this day with like no plans so that we could kind of do what we wanted. We had breakfast booked, which we'll talk about once we kind of get through the intro. And then my mom and I headed to the outlets, which I'm sorry we don't have any footage of. But it was super fun, and I would definitely suggest you check it out if you want to buy souvenirs and save some money. And you can hear more about the price difference at the outlets if you watch our Disney haul video, which we'll link down below.
Right.
And then after we did that, it was like early afternoon maybe, when everybody kind of ended up back at the hotel room at the same time, and we all decided that we wanted to go hang out more at EPCOT. Yeah. So that's pretty much what this video is.
Burn through some of those snack credits that we still had.
But we didn't do enough. We needed to eat more snacks.
So we just want to take the beginning of this, and we'll throw some pictures in here as we talk about it.
Yes.
To discuss just breakfast, and then we want to talk about some of the art stuff from the
Festival of the
Arts portion of it. So we had dinner at the... breakfast at 1900 Park Fair at the Grand Floridian.
Right, which is one of their like top tier resorts.
Yeah, and it was a buffet. I think it was 1 table service credit.
It was, yes.
Right. Which for a breakfast buffet, it was okay. Like it was.
Yeah, I thought they had more than just your basic stuff. Like they had all their basic stuff plus a little bit extra. But to be honest, if I were to go back again, the reason I would go back wouldn't be the food. Like the food was good, but it wasn't like, oh my god, the best food ever.
Apparently the strawberry soup is like the thing.
That was very good. Mom and I both tried that. That's not really your cup of tea. But it was like literally like fresh strawberry in liquid form. It was really good. Really
but apparently we don't have any footage of the food from that. But as we said, it's all eggs and bacon and breakfast meats and stuff like that. So
right.
Yeah, the food wasn't amazing. but it was a nice breakfast.
Yes.
It was the only character meal that we did.
Yes.
And it was the only real character interactions that we had.
Right. You saw, if you watched our video from our Animal Kingdom Day, Stuart had a few pictures with a few characters that he met while we rode Dinosaur.
Right.
But aside from that, this is really the only character interaction we had. And I would say that it was some of the best character interaction that we have had over our couple trips to Disney World.
And
they
really,
were awesome.
Largely because of one character, which was the Mad Hatter.
Yep.
We regret not getting the interaction that we
film.
had between us because it was absolutely hilarious.
It was, well, he could tell that it was a table of all adults, and so he was able to be a little bit more adult oriented, not like inappropriate,
Right.
but not like little kid stuff. And we had kind of heard him go around to all the tables around us, and he was like making puns and, you know, kind of joking and laughing. And so we were talking to ourselves about like, oh, different ways we could make puns with the word tea. And he had heard us, so he comes over and he's like, let's hear it. What do you guys got? And we were like, nothing. Oh my God. And so we kind of took it from there, but it was really fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun for that interaction. And then we also met Mary Poppins, Alice,
And Winnie the Pooh.
and Winnie the Pooh. Tigger was off by herself, and there's some pictures there. I have to admit, he made an unwanted advance on me, and you'll see that picture come in here.
Kissed him.
It was the weirdest thing ever. But
Oh my gosh, it was so funny though. That was
Yeah.
maybe one of the highlights of the trip because we talked about that like the rest of the trip.
and if
About
you
how-
know me at all, you know how much I love people being in my bubble. So, you know, I had glanced down, and next thing I know, this giant
It's like
tiger
grabbing
face
his
is like
face.
right here, and it was.
It was fantastic.
But yeah, it was a nice place. The food was okay, and the character interaction was really good. So
Yeah, I would go back there just for the characters.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it was
definitely.
definitely worth it. After that, we took a few hours and just kind of, I think you and your mom went to the outlets.
Yes, we went to the outlets, and I'll give you a quick rundown. The outlets was about a 15-minute drive, and there's one that's closer. We went to the one that's farther away because it's supposed to be a little bit bigger. It was still very small, but they crammed a lot of stuff into there. And we took a lift, and I want to say it was about $18 to $20 each way with the tip. So if you need to factor that in, if you don't have transportation that you have yourself.
Right.
And then we went to the outlets. We kind of wandered around like 3 or 4 times because there was so much stuff that we didn't want to miss anything. And then, like I said, it was pretty packed, and the line was kind of long, but everything moved smoothly. And yeah, I'd say the only maybe hiccup was when we tried to get the lift back to our resort. There were only certain places that they would pick you up. And since we didn't know where we were going, if you don't have like Google Maps or something on your phone, you would be lost. So you definitely want to make sure you have like a smartphone that works if you're going to be doing that. But other than that, I thought it was a great experience and definitely something I would do again.
Yeah. And then I think Joel's dad and I went back to the room and we both fell asleep.
Yes. This is also the day that Mom and Dad ordered a scooter for Dad, since it is a ton of walking. Like you're walking 8 miles or so every single day, and it was just a little bit too much for him to keep up with everybody throughout the whole day. So we got the scooter. I will put in where we got it from. I don't remember, but we'll put it in editing. And it was a fantastic experience, I would say. We called them around lunchtime, and it was there by like 2 o'clock. Like in a couple hours, it was at our resort. The guy dropped it off, showed us how to use it, said, you know, cover this up if it rains, have fun. And then they picked it up the day we left too. It was just like, have it back to your main lobby by like 9 a.m. or whatever. And they picked it up right from the lobby. It was a fantastic experience.
Yeah, I just know the only real struggle that they had with that scooter is it did not keep a charge.
Yeah, we made sure to plug it in anytime we stopped. Like if we went into a show or had to stand in line for a ride, we made sure to plug it in. And we didn't have any problems with it dying, but you could definitely, it slowed way down when it got low.
And your dad did have problems getting it started from time to time.
Yes, that's
so,
true.
Just be aware. And I think it could have just been that scooter. It seemed like the battery gauge was not working right.
Yeah.
Like it said it had a full charge, but then it wouldn't go. But
Right.
but
But we made it work.
Yeah, and it made it a lot easier for her dad and you know.
And honestly, for all of us, because we could load stuff, it had a little basket,
Yeah.
and then we would put
We didn't have
stuff
to
by
carry
his
anything
feet.
else the rest
so
of the
like
week.
we just threw everything on the scooter, and it worked out. It worked out really nicely.
Yeah. So once they got back, we decided to head back to EPCOT. The skyline was down.
Yes.
And I will say this was probably the most frustrating part of the trip the entire week.
Oh.
Only because of the end of the day, really. They had made
okay.
arrangements when
Right.
the skyline was down to have buses there to pick people up from the Skyliner and take them to EPCOT or wherever they were going.
Right.
And that was fine. However, at the end of the night, there was no way to communicate that the Skyliner was
Back up and
running, and we were like halfway from either end of the park.
Right, so we either would have to walk all the way to the front of the park to catch the bus, or the Skyliner stop is all the way at the back side of the park. So it was like two opposite ends.
Right.
So we were kind of like, do we go to the Skyliner and see if it's open? But if it's not open, we have to walk all the way back to the buses.
Yeah.
So yeah, that wasn't very clearly communicated. It wasn't on the app. It didn't
Right.
say whether it was running or not. So that was, you're right, that was a frustration.
And the frustrating thing is we decided to take the bus back, and we ended up waiting 40 minutes or so because they encourage people to use the Skyliners. The buses run once an hour,
Right.
maybe.
Yeah.
And I have to say that's a terrible decision on Disney's part. I get that you want to encourage use of the Skyliner, but when things like that happen,
You should have more buses.
you should have more buses
Yeah.
or
Or a
some
better way to communicate.
that the Skyline is up and running.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
That's a little thing in the grand scheme of things, but it was a bit frustrating to have to wait 40 minutes for a bus to show up to get us back to the hotel.
Right.
Um,
Right.
You know, just to find out that the Skyline was up and running and we could have gone that way.
Right.
You probably could have asked a cast member, I'm guessing, but I don't know unless they were like guest services if they would know directly if it was up and running or not.
Right.
But anyway.
Back to the fun stuff.
Yeah, so once we got back to Epcot, there's a lot of stuff that goes on during Festival of the Arts.
Yeah.
One thing is this giant mural that they have every year where
Yes.
you have the opportunity to paint some of the squares that
Yeah,
are there.
each square has a number, and you walk up to the person that's standing there. They hand you a little, like, take-out container of paint with the number on top and a little brush, and you just match up the number, paint your squares, and then at the end they have big bins where you put your brush and your paint in.
Right.
Yeah, but it's fun because you feel like lots of people have worked together to create something, and then they give you postcards of what your mural will look like at the end. So it's really neat.
And as far as I know, once it fills up, like they take it down and put another one up.
Right.
So it's something that they keep running throughout.
Yeah, and
for
they
the
actually
entire time.
made good use of all of the construction walls that they have up because it was up against a construction wall.
Yeah, right.
So it kind of worked out to
There-
like make it a little
there
less
were
annoying.
construction walls everywhere.
Everywhere.
And I know they're doing a huge overhaul of Epcot. That's just what
Right.
it was. Some some other neat stuff is there were a lot of chalk drawings that were
Yes.
on the grounds, and you'll see videos of those. Just really neat stuff, like really artistic stuff that was cool
I
to see.
think they had a lot of ones that were like famous paintings, but I think my favorite were the Disney characters. They were a little bit more like they popped a little more.
Yeah.
I don't know. Those were my favorites.
Yeah, and I mean it was just neat to witness all that and to see. I think it was kind of a rainy day or a drizzly day when we were there. So you could tell that some of them had gotten wet and they were a little faded.
dull.
But still really neat to see. It's amazing what people are able to do with things like chalk. So
Yeah.
that was just really cool.
And
to
the
see.
other fun thing was the 3D chalk
Yeah.
drawing. That was so neat. And the people that were standing in the drawing that were looking like they were in the picture, you couldn't really tell how it was going to look until you saw the person who was standing at a certain spot to take the picture. And then afterwards you're like, oh my gosh, it looks like you're really standing in the picture.
And
it's so cool.
So you'll see a picture of that at the end.
Or maybe in here. We can... You want to see it now. Oh, the last thing was the moving statues.
Yeah.
talk
Yeah,
about.
I mean, those are... Yeah, I don't know what to say about those.
They were really neat to see, and they interacted with people, which you'll see as you're watching the footage right now. And everybody saw that they kind of interacted with you in a funny way, and were a little nervous to go close to them. So there's like a group of people around them, but nobody really, except for the brave ones,
Right.
were going close. So that was kind of fun to see.
Yeah, so just a lot of neat stuff to check out. And one of the other videos we had were at Epcot Words. There was the harpist that
Yes.
was really neat to see. So, and they have concerts and things that go on.
Yeah, that was
so.
kind of the one thing, category of the Festival of the Arts that we didn't really get to see. But they were extremely popular because they had people lined up like hours before the concerts were going to start to get into like the amphitheater where they had them. So we didn't really want to stand in line for like the whole afternoon.
Yeah.
But it would have been neat to see there actually people on Broadway who come, like actors on Broadway that come and sing the different Disney songs for the Broadway shows. And that would have been cool to see, but we just didn't want to stand in line.
Yeah. So that's all the like artistic stuff, and obviously there are booths and things out there that you can purchase paintings for like $700 for a
Yes, they were
picture
expensive.
that's like a 6x6 square.
I think the ones that were my favorite were the trees. They had like paintings of trees, and meshed with the leaves were all the different hidden Disney characters.
Yeah.
That was my favorite, but they were super expensive.
Super expensive. They were all expensive. So, yeah. So, just a lot of neat stuff. And the way that we're gonna kind of, I say wrap this video up, but it's gonna go on for a little bit. Is we spent most of our time eating food.
Yeah. If you don't know about the Festival of the Arts, they also have food booths all the way around the World Showcase and even all around the park. We focus mostly on World Showcase, and they have different booths that have different foods that are sometimes regional, but a lot of times are kind of presented really beautifully for the Festival of the Arts. And so we tried a bunch of different foods, and that's what you're going to see next.
Right. So we're going to turn you over to that footage, and then at the end, don't forget to stick around because there are pictures from the trip. And, you know, as always, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and we will catch you the next time. So enjoy the footage, and take care.
Bye.
I don't know what the green and yellow are. But it smells really good.
Should have got a knife. Do you want me to get a knife or?
I think it's gonna pull right apart.
Okay.
It certainly looks like it, so. Oh, holy cow, maybe we need a knife for that cake.
It's frozen?
No, it's very dense.
Is it going to have a different flavor?
I don't think so. It's good. Chocolate is the overpowering flavor, but you get a little bit of raspberry. Because there's raspberry, like, between all the layers. Bubbles!
Yeah. The overpowering flavor is chocolate.
Yeah.
I didn't get any tartness of
No?
but yeah, it's not bad.
Alright, go ahead and try the chicken. Well, I got you.
If I can.
I love the bubbles floating into the screen. That's really funny. Yeah, and then you gotta sop up all those sauces.
Whatever they might be.
I think I like that.
You think?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay.
I could not tell you what those flavors are, but
We'll look it up and insert it, and if we can find it.
it doesn't taste bad.
It doesn't look very pretty now. I think it's better than not bad.
No.
I think they're dried beets.
It's better than bad. It's good.
I think they're beets. It's good. I like. It's like a creamy flavor, a fruity flavor. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
All right.
It's agave pork belly.
Oh, that's
This is braised beef.
Oh, okay. Got them backwards. Well, let me start with the pork belly.
Because that's what you want the most.
What is it on?
Lentils.
And is this dill?
It certainly looks kind of dillish.
Take all that green stuff off.
The Stuart McDonald story. Take the green stuff off.
It looks like it's nice and crunchy.
All right, let me try something else here.
There you go.
This. All right, I'll throw some green stuff on. Oh, that's like the whole. No one else is getting any dill. Okay.
That's okay. I don't
No, I
want
won't.
any.
All right. There we go. What's the green stuff underneath?
I don't know. We'd have to look it up. A pesto of some kind?
Delicious. If those are lentils, they had no flavor whatsoever. And whatever that is, I don't like it. I don't like the sauce. So. But the pork belly is amazing.
Okay.
So, oh, I'm gonna fall over. I haven't even been drinking. Yeah, so as far as the pork belly goes, that's great. I could do without the other stuff though.
All right, try the beef.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
You gotta pull out your little thing again, Mom.
So this cabbage?
It certainly looks like it. And then it's some kind of cheese.
Yeah.
Pork belly.
We all get one.
Oh, Mom had one already?
The last one's yours.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh, I really like that.
Yeah?
That's like an open-faced burrito.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, so I don't know what the little cake is or whatever. But that's got some good flavor. Are there refried beans in this?
I think so.
Okay. Because that's really good. The pork is really good. All the stuff on top kind of gets in the other flavors, but I enjoyed that. I thought that was really good. Yeah, I would recommend that.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm positive.
I wonder what, I don't know if you like that green stuff in there on the bottom of the sauce. If you think it's dill.
Whatever it is, I like it.
You do like it?
It's like, tastes green and fresh.
Stuart, do you normally like dill?
Well, I don't hate it,
It's not your favorite.
but I'm not gonna like run out to
lentils
get
don't
it.
add flavor, they just add like a texture.
Yeah. Right?
Whatever the bottom is, I think it has corn in it.
Is that what it is?
That's delicious.
Yeah, that's really good.
You're right, it's like corn and, oh, it's just delicious, you're right. Like a burrito.
Yeah. That'll work.
That looks delicious.
It's supposed to be good.
Now, what is this?
Apple cheesecake.
Sven's apple cheesecake.
Okay.
Sven's. Go ahead, Joe. There's Sven's pepper cheesecake.
I feel like the camera's pointing at me from every direction.
Surround sound.
That is delicious.
What's the green stuff on the outside?
It's delicious. Oh,
It doesn't taste like anything.
probably just like a fondue.
Wow, you're getting a big piece for something you're not gonna like.
Well, Stuart's always adventurous and always willing to try.
That's true.
And I think that's pretty
And
cool.
then I throw
You might. It's really like creamy and cheesecakey.
flavor-wise, it's not bad.
It's really good.
Does it taste
It's just too creamy for myself.
Is that the custard on the outside, on the top also, that's inside?
Good.
Yeah? Oh, sorry, Stuart.
It's already not pretty.
No, but he's filming. Oh my gosh, that custard is amazing.
Like a glaze or something.
Yeah.
It's really hard to cut through.
Was that, would you say that bread is like a yeasty kind of bread?
Oh yeah,
or?
definitely.
Yeah?
Yep.
Well, it's interesting that it wouldn't be a sweet bread if you're going to do it like a dessert kind of a thing.
I think it's they say it's like an after school snack kind of thing.
Oh. Hence the name school bread.
It's good. I like it. But like nothing we have in America. The dough is like kind of savory.
Maybe that'll balance out the custard.
The custard and the coconut are really sweet. There you go.
I'm trying. That's better just because with a crunchy coconut on top,
Yeah.
the bread it cuts through the puddingness of
Yep.
the custard.
It's
That's not
more
bad.
of a texture that
Right. Something to crunch on instead of just swirling. So.